Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you a few more enhancements I did for the add-ons for the next update, and that will be for random flow and also panel cut or panel cutter. So with panel cutter, just shade smooth this panel cut bevel, and if you use middle sharp and border sharp, in the next update, it will also make mark sharp this edge is here, which has basically radians 30 or 30-degree angle. So in your version, this will not be sharpened, and you will have this, and you will have this look here, which is soft. And for the update, this will be marked sharp. And this is also true for um, random flows, random panels in bevel. They will also now mark sharp those sharp angled edges. Okay, and there's also a change for the mark sharp only functionality. So in your version, the old version, this will produce a mesh with the random details as mark sharp edges. It will produce another mesh or object. So with this change, this will no longer produce another object and will only now work in edit mode and will mark sharp and affect the source mesh. So this becomes a destructive process. This toggle here or this feature is mainly to as a combo or combination with panel cutter. So you use this in combination with panel cutter to make those mark sharp edges as the panel cut. The advantage being that you can edit those mark sharp edges before actually using panel cutter to produce the detail. So for example, if I make a base mesh, let's just auto mirror this in the XYZ axis and create a topology that will affect the randomization. So something like this. And so in edit mode, we'll go in edit mode. I'm going to use this preset here just as an example, and then look for a pattern that I like. So for example, this one. Okay, so this is the default result for the random operator, and it produces another mesh with the random details, and this is non-destructive unless you use merge panel. But if you want to again use the mark sharp only, this will now affect the source mesh and make this detail as mark sharp edges, and also use the subdivision on the source mesh. So mark sharp only, we have it. Now we can, of course, play around with the mark sharp edges to affect the further contribute with the panel cut pattern. You can view this using panel cut and using the inset functionality, and then just Control Z to undo and continue working with the result. Random panels, panel cut. I'm sorry, Final Cut, inset, and then you can merge this to the source mesh. And now all you have to do is create your own. Oh, we used too much thickness. Okay, now all you have to do is push and pull faces and model your some of the details manually. Like for example, a handle, this area here, and so basically just push and pull. You can use Alt S to push and pull faces and yeah, model the extra details yourself. Okay, sort of like that. And this as your template, you can start. Um, or yeah, you can use the workflow to create templates like this, and then model your assets or environmental assets. Okay, so that's for Mark Sharp. Let's see. That's for Mark Sharp only. Okay, now let's use this for creating cylinder object. Let's start with 64 and creates topology for the cap points. Let's mirror this in the XYZ axis and shade auto smooth. Okay. Um, let's forego this part here or create a space and then do the randomization on this part. Okay, random panels. Let's go to edit mode. You can get rid of the or overlay using Shift Alt Z, but you need to set this in the preferences. Okay, random panels inset, and let's just look for a pattern that we can use. Okay, there's no need to. Oops. There's no need to use the depth here because we're just looking for the sharp cut. Okay, let's just stay in one subdivision to avoid the subdivision banding, and look for a pattern we could use to increase the to decrease the detail. You need to increase the size of the panel. Okay, so for example, this one, and then in without confirming the uh, process or operation, let's go back to the redo panel and click on this. Again, you can view this using panel cut. It's set. Might take some time. Okay, it's set. Oh, it's already merged. Okay, undo this. Okay, so you can preview it and then just Control Z and then edit the resulting randomized pattern using mark sharp edges. So This is what the Mark Sharp toggle was is originally created for, to work with panel cut. So Mark Sharp, and let's preview that using panel cut. We clear sharp. So the Mark Sharp edges must be contiguous, meaning that they should not end like this. They should always end on vertices that have Mark Sharp edges. So, for example, if I create a bunch of Mark Sharp edges here, I should end it right here. And panel cut. Then you can start modeling your own details on the map. Let's just shadow smooth this. It's a great way of creating templates. And the good thing about this is that they're all quads. And after you finish the detail, you can just collapse the edges that are not used or are not. It's not important to keeping the shape of the topology. If you haven't merged this to the source mesh, you need to merge the vertices in the borders of the panel islands because by default they are not merged together. And so select everything. If you're done with the design, select everything and then merge by distance, remove turn it to one words. And if we select by length, it now selects everything. And now you can clean up the topology to make it lighter, something like that. For these edges here, we needed to keep the shape of the circular shape. So we're only for this situation we're only going to get rid of the uh, edges that go wrap around that's wrapping around the cylinders. So an example of important edge for the topology is like this. If you get rid of this, it kind of holds this structure here. So don't get rid of that. Only get rid of something like this. It wraps around the entire mesh without actually ending up in a uh, important section like this one here. If you do this, you're going to end up with an in-gun. So if you don't want that, just don't delete don't delete the supporting edges that make up that topology. So something like this, just to make it lighter. Or you can, of course, limit dissolve, but you end up with with in-guns. Okay, let's use something like 2 degrees to keep the structure of the round structure of the cylinder. So you end up with in-guns, but it's a lot lighter. If you're planning to use this design in terms of geometry and texture maps, this is the easiest way to do it. Limit dissolve, and you don't have to triangulate this. Personally, I don't want to triangulate it because the render engine will do that for you. And if you want this like cleaned up, it's gonna be if you use qualification using Alt J, it's not gonna clean everything up like it's just to be. So just leave it as like this as ngon. Okay. So you can easily quantify again this again using the knife, or just if it's something like this, for example, Control T to triangulate, then Alt J to quantify. Okay, so it don't be afraid with ingons. Actually, the quad and the tri structure could not exist without ingons. So if you're making characters, it's of course that's going to animate. You need to have quads, of course. But if this is just a something that's very static in the background, you can of course just use ingons for this. The physics will work for the collision will work for this, even if it's uh, what do you call this, ingons. But for something more advanced like destroying this or making this thing explode, I think you need quads for that, but I'm not sure. So if this is just going to be a static object in the background, then you can just limit dissolve this. After you, the advantage of using quads in the beginning is that it gives you it is much easier for you to create the oops, I've lost the wait, the source mesh is still here. I've lost the quad structure. There's another mesh. Okay, so I had to stop the video, pause and stop the video, and actually figure out the problem with the um, mesh. It's giving out wrong outputs for the panel cut because of the auto smooth modifier. So when I use shade auto smooth, and this is actually giving me incorrect result with the panel cut. So just watch out for that. I don't know when it happened actually. Okay, so the advantage of having a quad topology is that you can model the details that you want manually by taking advantage of the quad topology. So merge panel, and you can just extrude stuff like that and insert in. Let's reuse this. So that's the advantage of quad topology. And once you finish with it, you can limit dissolve it or clean it out manually. So limit dissolve, you have the details, panel cut, inset, and then selecting everything, press X and limit dissolve. And you have to use to get rid of the shading error. You have to use auto smooth like that, and it gets cleaned up. Then you have a lighter mesh for your scene with all the details. And this is faster because you don't have to bake the. You only have to provide this with a uh, to the grunge texture. You don't have to bake the details, so that this workflow is faster in that regard. Okay, so in the upcoming update as well, I will be in final screws. I will be adding in the uniform and toggle here, which if you untoggle the or disable the uniform toggle, you will have the ability to min-max this, to randomize this using min-max value of the radius. So the screws will have randomized sizes just for increased realism for some models screws. So right now we already have randomization for the sizes of the tubes. In toggle the you can disable this toggle and you will have the ability to create or to randomize the sizes of the tubes or pipes using the min-max value right here. and this is also true for random cables. Minimize the size of the cables using the bevel property by disabling the uniform toggle right here. And the good thing about this is I've also fixed this to, of course, adapt to the sizes of the tubes and the cables. So let's just basic and use dynamic and just decrease the size. And you can see that it's smaller for the thinner cables and bigger for the um, bigger or wider cables. Okay, that looks like like this will definitely pass for like a debris or litter. Okay, so that is also coming for the next update. And I just wanted to show you the changes to the mark sharp toggle. Mark sharp only toggle for random flow and panel cutter. And this will also be written in the change log in the online documentation. And this video is just a way of showing you what those changes mean. So I'm just going to finish the pre-select add-on documentation, online documentation. Then I will slowly prepare to pass this update to you. Okay. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions, use the comment link or the description or the link in the description. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.